This series of videos I call Understanding Pinball. I filmed these over 20 years ago, in 1989, and I show you on each game that it's more than just flipping the flippers. There's actually a really neat set of rules on how to play each game. I hope you enjoy them. This is Centaur II, released in June of '83. Oddly enough, this is one of the few games in pinball history to enjoy a second life, because you see it was first introduced in November of '81 as Centaur. It was reissued in this cabinet because of player demand. That small head on the top contains all the electronics and created a technical nightmare for some mechanics. This part here had the digits inside. You can see the unique construction and attachment to the cabinet itself. But the real beauty of this remarkable game was this incredible color-coordinated playfield. Different areas of the playfield were highlighted with different colors. And if anybody happened to lean on the right flipper button while the game was advertising like this without any coins in it, he got to hear that voice. By the way, the echo in that voice is created by its own unique circuit board that was just for this one game only. Now we're ready to start a game. Your first shot are these three rollovers. Once again, the right flipper will move the lights. And the game will even tell you how many times you get the bonus up. Bally multiplexed these pop bumpers. When you hit them, the light goes out for just a moment. Below the pop bumpers are the Orbs targets. Spelling them in order will keep the light flashing. Out of order, nothing. They'll reset. If I can get them all in order though, my bonus will be a bonus ball. I heard a lot of you just say, where'd that ball come from? Well, right here in the shooter lane, there's a metal plate, and that lifts up and fires the new ball out on the play field. I'm going to give you a look at that mechanism. This is the ramp that the balls come firing out from. This thing pops the balls real hard, too, when they're kicked onto the playfield. And as you can see, the balls are sitting here waiting to come out. Now, you could actually play one ball and only play one ball the entire game of Centaur and never see any other balls come shooting out this lane here. But most players were good enough where they saw two or three of them kick out at any time. Another way to get a ball onto the playfield was to hit these green targets down in order. Now if you get them out of order, the lights go out. You have to start all over again. Let's suppose you did get one out of order though. On the opposite side of the playfield, a green light would come on. That target will reset the targets, and you're back in order, as though you never hit them at all. At the top of the playfield, this green target, when the light's on, will spot the targets for you by remote control, sort of. Getting that last one down will activate the release target, as the game had said earlier. Before I release the ball in that upper right lane there, I want to show you something. Down here in the playfield is a captive Orbs indicator light. Every time I complete those center targets in or out of order, it will light one of the captive orb lights. Let me knock a couple more down. I now have 3 of the 4 captive orb lights lit. I'm still only playing with 1 ball, but if I can go up this lane where it says release, timing the ball so possibly that the ball will hit the top red target you see when the light is on 5 times, I will release 3 more balls into play, or whatever number is indicated in that captive orb's light. These are all going to come out at once. Now watch the ball freeze at the top. Once again, it'll release 3 balls. So I have a total of 4 balls on the playfield. I don't know if any of you caught that, but if you roll through the lane that's lit, which is the wrong way to do it, the game says something. Listen. So you're supposed to roll through the lane that isn't lit. This lane here with the chamber gives you some good points. It also multiplexes the chamber up top in anticipation that your ball will be hard enough that it will hit that captive ball, knock down targets, like so. But if we do it a little harder, let's try that again. And finally, the last target. And when you finally hit the last target, it releases the ball. The targets don't reset. If you hit it one more time, you will get a free game. And then the release light comes back on. Only until your ball drains do these targets come back up again. The 2 kickers on each side of the flippers are also multiplexed, so the lights inside will flash when you hit them. Another way to release balls is on each side of the pinball machine there are 2 out lanes. When you roll through it, you'll spot the blue light. The left and right flipper each will move these lights on both sides so you can roll back through the lit lane. Now when your ball comes down, if you bump it just right, you can bump off this rubber so it comes back into play. The identical setup is on this side. So if your ball comes through, if you bump it just right, it'll come through the gate and back into play. Now I've got 3 of the 4 blue lane lit. When I hit them again, that will release a ball. This blue light in the center indicates when the blue light will release a power orb. That's usually always on, and that is an adjustment you can make too as an operator. Completing the center targets twice will light the 50,000 points in addition to giving you an extra bell. And finally, completing them a 4th time will get you another special. One thing we didn't mention earlier when you're hitting these targets down, every time you get a chamber target, your advance goes up 1. As you can see, I'm at 50,000. So I get 50,000 every time I hit that target, plus releasing a power orb. We'll try one last ball.